I've got an accountant here in Australia who's been running a practice for a number of years. He's essentially at ground zero in terms of marketing. He's ready to take the first steps in getting some leads showing up somewhere. He doesn't know where. He's essentially at ground zero. So your standard sort of accounting services, SMSF, advice, obviously Zero partner, my partner. So knows the finance and accounting space quite well. First reached out to a few agencies, plus he's had a few agencies contact him, and essentially he's at ground zero and he's been offered SEO by a larger agency which reached out to him via what I believe is like mass AI outreach, where they send a generic list of your website has these problems, and if you reply, then potentially someone jumps on and creates some personalized content. Then the approach of visiting local business sort of meetups and networking with local marketing experts, which I think is great, especially on the freelance side of things, because you can get someone that's really passionate, that loves what they're doing. And so initially, ground zero with an accounting business like this is, okay, let's have a look at the condition of your website. In this particular case, the website is just pretty much a landing page, but it has got some maturity. So it has existed for a number of years. One Google review, so not much going on there. So there's already some low-hanging fruit, which is free for the business owner to jump on. So normally, from my experience with accountants and doing this for a number of years, I used to also work at MYOB, so I spoke to accountants every single day. For over 6 years, I spoke to small businesses every single day. For an accountant, it's like any other local business that will benefit from showing up on Google Maps, in the map pack when someone is looking for the services near their suburb, showing up in the organic results, which are your standard listings. You can run a Google ad, definitely. In other words, just pay per click for that particular term. You can run a Facebook ad and basically intrude on people's time as long as the targeting and the video copy is done right. But essentially what I'm saying is all the things can work and all the things can absolutely fail. And so gave him sort of the basic rundown. Hey, here's 10 of my websites that I've built and ranked in some suburbs. Here are a few of my client campaigns and exactly what we did to achieve these results. And here are the results. And here's what Google ads brought in. Here's what Facebook ads brought in. And examples of a track record, which we've got lots. I've got about 100 accountant plus suburb websites, which I am progressing and marinating. And some of them are at the top in position 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. My first comment is on your typical big agency approach, where they reach out to everybody. They reach out to a whole bunch of businesses, no matter if it's an accountant or a pizza shop or a cosmetic clinic, with a generic your website has these problems. The issue that I have with that is it's a lot of the time it's the job of a sales rep, and the sales rep will make the call. He will sell the dreams. There will be absolutely no consideration for the competitors, the competitive nature. And so we've had SEO being pitched on a website that, look, you all know that I don't like ranking Wix, Weebly or Squarespace websites. It's not something that I would offer to do, because I know that a WordPress website, it's much easier to rank than a Wix website. So in this case, the top 20 websites in the results for this city and these suburbs were all WordPress websites. So whoever's selling Wix SEO is just a sales rep that possibly has no idea of the actual process involved in ranking this website. So nothing against big agencies like that. And a lot of them perform really good work and have a big track record of success. But to scale an agency is very difficult, especially in all of the different niches that you're targeting. If you're just niching down to one, you have a better understanding about that one niche. So what I'm getting at with this is meaningless SEO activities are being pitched here. It's just a gut feeling that I have from everything that I've seen in the past. So that same process is being sold to a pizza shop that potentially could be being sold to a dentist or a injury lawyer. Each of those spaces is incredibly difficult, apart from the pizza shop, depending on where they are. And the same approach just isn't going to cut it or at the same cost. And so what happens a lot of the time is the sales rep will make the sale and then your account gets handballed to fulfillment. Then you're dealing with an account manager who's just there to just pull strings, that is not doing the work. He's not the cog logging into your site, making the edits. Someone else is somewhere. So that was my first sort of, just be mindful here. Let's have a look at the contract. Keep in the contract, keep an eye on things where you don't own the site for this period. So, gosh, I can't stress how many client campaigns I've taken over where the owner of the business no longer has admin access to their own website. It's crazy. And so for the period of the 2 years or 3 years, even after that, they signed an agreement that they will only be added as a user. While the website is plummeting, no one knows about anything. We can't even do admin things on the website. So having a look at that agreement, is it the agreement for 12 months, 2 years? Like, I've never done contracts and I don't think I will ever do contracts. Look, it's just a means of these guys making money. So that was my 5 cents on an agency that is reaching out, right, to sell. There were some comments there about kicking off social media campaigns. So social media is great, right? So posting to a Facebook account, just a post, meaning I'm keeping present with my current audience of 0. So is that a priority of things to do in the general marketing campaign? No. Should that be done? Yeah, you can get to it. Especially in the accounting space. It's not a very exciting space. Generally, no one really follows the accounting brand. They'll follow the individual that's running the practice that is sharing a lot of advice. And John, the tax accountant for midgets from Launceston, niching down. Jimmy, the accountant for single dads in Australia, right? Single dads so there's your niche. In other words, niche down. So those accounts are most likely to get more followers, especially in the accounting space. That's just the trend that I'm possibly seeing. So to kick off a social media campaign is the first thing to do for an accountant. I don't think it's wise unless you are comfortable getting in front of the camera, you're comfortable and you have the time to do it, and you start sharing meaningful advice on tax tips, on structures and dental, and especially if you're niching down, 100% that will work. But something tells me this gentleman is already quite busy running the business, doing the tax work. He's not going to light up a few lights and set up the microphone. That's definitely the direction that I'm trying to push all of my clients into, but he's looking to outsource this marketing, not be running the marketing ship, because there's a lot of work with that. So social media is very important, but I believe that the website should have a baseline of Google reviews. The website should be a website, not just a landing page. It should have the list of all of the services. It should have the supporting blogs and guides, and it should be progressing through the ranks in Google and marinating in Google. Before you start a social media posting campaign, you should have a scalable cost per lead, scalable lead acquisition system, whether it be SEO, whether it be Google ads or Facebook ads. And then once that begins, then you keep in touch with your audience with social media posts while sharing reels which reach an external audience. So definitely one of the things to do. But the very obvious one is this business needs to get off Wix. They need an SEO optimized WordPress website that is essentially the average of the top 20. Don't need to copy, but just have a look at who's at the top. There's only a certain amount of services accountants offer. Do you offer that service? Yes, you do property advice, taxation advice for property investors. Yes, you do. You do tax for dental practices. Yes, you do. Build those pages. That's looking like a 30 to 50 page website already just for services if you target all of those. So then when Google visits your website, they're like, geez, there's a lot of good quality content. They'll begin to respect you more. They'll begin to build trust with us a little bit more. Something just beeped. I'm not sure what. and then slowly you will begin to marinate through the ranks. Now, before any of this happens, we need to have at least 20, 30 reviews. So if the business owner can't build the internal systems and processes just to ask people for reviews and get a few reviews a week coming through, it's not something that can easily be outsourced. Yes, there are lots of beautiful systems, automated systems that will send SMSs and follow up on SMSs and get reviews. Implement them. But a lot of that time, a lot of that starts with when you're going for coffee with a client. Hey, we've been working together for so many years. It would mean a lot to us if you left us a Google review. I can send you an SMS with a Google review link. I can show you this QR code with the Google review link. I've got this NFC credit card type thing. I can tap it. It will take you straight to leaving a Google review. Right, so many ways that you can do this. That would be level 1 before planning out a properly optimized, geo-relevant, all of the services offered website, right? Tackling your foundational brand media, meaning getting a photographer, taking some headshots of your team meeting the clients, just that kind of stuff. These days, and if you flick through any of my videos, I'm talking about the anti-AI era where we want humans to chat to. We want to see faces, we want to see smiling faces, and we also want to see proof of work as well. So you have this kit made up, which is like your foundational branding. Like you've had this amazing logo created, love the colors, love it, right? Then foundational images, maybe a video of why you started the practice, what you studied, blah, 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 just that kind of stuff. That helps conversions. When someone does eventually land on your site, whether it's a referral from a friend, they're building a relationship with your video with you digitally while you sleep, like these videos are as well. You sit through a few of my videos and you think Eugene knows a little bit about this stuff. It's like, hopefully you get some value from these videos. So what's next? So plan out the SEO website, build a website. So instantly, there's a comment there that we're chatting to a web dev that will look at building out the website. Sweet. We're getting off Wix. Awesome. Just a few tips. The person building the website, generally speaking, should be also the person to SEO the website. Okay? Now, SEO and web dev are very different things, right? And the best way I can explain it is SEO is a never-ending, ongoing sculpture. We got to jump into the site, we got to chisel this, we got to do that, we got to optimize this. There's a lot of moving parts because we're constantly assessing the top 10, who Google is choosing, and trying to be like the average of them from an algorithm perspective. I'm not saying copy, I'm not saying plagiarize, I'm saying Google is choosing them because they have these metrics, because they have these 50 pages, because they have these backlinks, because they have these things. All of those things involve doing more on the website every single month, which is why SEO is a monthly task that a lot of the time never actually ends. So my advice is, hey, just a heads up, when a web dev builds a website, there are thousands of ways you can build a WordPress website. There are, millions of plugins, themes, page builders out there. So my advice is, hey, the guy building the site should be at least around, if not also the guy or girl that's going to be SEOing this thing. The reason is that when we need to change edits to the site and the site is fully custom coded, a lot of agencies will simply be like, you know what, this is too hard. I'm just not going to do that thing and do the other thing. I've seen lots of agencies just, I don't have access to this. I'm just going to put it in the too hard basket. No email is going to get sent. No prod is going to get done. And then the account manager can deal with it. That's what generally happens in these agencies is, we don't know this code. I don't know that plugin. This is too hard. I'll just do something else, right? It's like taking a BMW engine to a Mercedes dealership and being like, hey guys, we need to do this and these upgrades. It's like, they could probably figure it out. Don't get me wrong. Anyone that when they need to, they'll figure it out, which will come at possibly a huge cost, which will come at multiple times the site goes down because WordPress can be a game of Jenga. And that's not good when we need to be doing this month on month on month. It's absolutely fine for these to be two different teams, but for a small business like this, for a startup, it's too expensive to have an SEO giving a checklist of things to do to the dev implements it. That's generally what happens, but that just comes with at a certain cost. And I would argue that money might be better spent on something that is more direct to getting leads, if leads are the priority in this case. Google ads are not cheap, much cheaper for an accountant than they are for a injury lawyer or a financial advisor, but they're still sitting on nothing under 75 to, gosh, could be $200 a lead, especially like in the medical space. We're running some Google ads for accountants that only want medical accountant key terms, dental accountant key terms. Those inquiries are rare with our specific targeting, and some of them $300 a lead. But hey, what was the last inquiry I just read? It was a psychologist with 42 employees or something like that. Holy shit, that's just potentially paid for a whole Google ads budget. That's now positively geared, right? So it absolutely is a numbers game. So I guess what I'm saying is prioritize where you allocate your budget to things more likely to bring a scalable cost per lead, which then gives us more profit that comes in that can then be allocated to other things. So that was my 5 cents. Now, okay, whoever's going to build the site, generally speaking, these days, WordPress websites should use common themes. I personally use WP Astra for like over 2,000 sites that we've built. I use Beaver Builder, which is not the most popular. I think Elementor is the king. Both are great. The reason I use Beaver Builder is just for stability. We find that with the range of other plugins that we're using for cache and speed optimization, our sites just are prone to less problems than Elementor. Just a personal take from the Elementor sites that we manage, from the Elementor sites that we build, just a personal preference. Alongside Beaver Builder, we use a few add-ons that give us a whole bunch of additional elements, great buttons and other enhancing things that make the website visual. That gives us all the control where we can pretty much build anything out there, almost. Then a few SEO plugins. SEO Press is what we use. There's a lot of them. There's Rank Math. There's a whole bunch of others. So, in a nutshell, ground zero, SEO optimized website, Google reviews, begin the SEO process, which takes 6 to 7 months to begin marinating, 12 months for something to really start moving anywhere, probably 2 years for some actual meaningful results. Who are we kidding? Those top sites, 700 pages, thousands and thousands of backlinks, blogs, right? It's going to take a while. Let's be really realistic. So if anyone's pitching page one rankings I could just turn on Google ad for you and we can do that in a day. So that's it. That's SEO these days for an accountant. And that was the advice that I gave with a whole bunch of data to prove. There was actually this really incredible case that I saw, and I really love seeing it because it's exactly what I do. The big accounting practice in this city, it's not a major city, in position 3 was a domain that I would buy, city-accountant, and it was almost a duplicate of the main site that was first. It was unique, uniquely ranked, unique text. So this business has 2 sites. One is brandname.com.au and the other one is city plus account.com.au. Both of them in top 5 results, both of them SEO, both of them look great. I just love this because that's exactly what I do. I still pick up exact match domains, I still rank them, and then once they rank, I push the leads to client campaigns or leads to those that need them. Hope that's helpful.